Hello and welcome to my channel, GreenLion Goddess Tarot. George is welcoming you too. George, my rooster, for those of you that are wondering who he is or haven't met George before. I know a lot of you know George. So let's see what's coming in for the weekend. I've got the black cockatoos in the background as well. I don't know if you can hear them. George is saying hello to them. Could you hear that? That's a really primal sound, the black cockatoo. It reminds me a little bit of the ring wraiths of Lord of the Rings, but doesn't have quite that terror that comes with it. It's just such a beautiful feeling. Every time I hear it, it kind of just, I drop into my soul and feel this sense of just belonging to the earth and feeling really grounded. It's just such a beautiful call. So anyway, we'll see what's coming in. This reading is for the 5th and the 6th of February, the weekend. So nice to have the weekend come around again if you are not working on the weekend, or hopefully you've got something nice planned. We'll see what is coming through. George is saying he's got something he wants to say. He's saying pay attention, listen to the sounds of spirit, the wind whispering and the sounds of the black cockatoos. And George, you know, it's very much just coming back to nature and the earth. It's such a beautiful energy to be connecting into. So perhaps this is the message that we're getting from George about just earthing ourselves, going out and connecting to nature. And I know that that's not necessarily easy for everybody, depending on where you're living and what season you're in at this moment in time. But yeah, I kind of just getting the message to take some moments to be really still and just listen. Just listen to the sounds around you. Listen to what messages you might be getting from soul and spirit. And just there's gold in the quietness. That's kind of what I'm getting for this weekend. Some messages coming through before we're even getting tarot. So it's a beautiful rainy old day here today. So also excited to let you know that I'm opening up to personal readings. I've kind of cleared my schedule for February and March. So, and just seeing how that works in with my schedule. I can't guarantee I'm going to do it beyond that. So if it is something that you're interested in, I would say get in. The link for that, hopefully I'll have that up by this weekend. So I am putting out some fortnightly readings this weekend. So keep an eye out for them because they should have the link on it. So speaking of which, we have the Hanged Man. This is the card of knowing when and where to let go of and what to let go of. It's the card of enlightenment, you know, seeing things from a different perspective, and there can be an awakening and an enlightenment energy that comes through with the Hanged Man, but it can mean that you're putting some things on pause. There may be delays, there may be holds. We'll have to get the whole picture coming in with the Hanged Man, but it's an interesting energy because it's kind of like the halfway point. It's the halfway journey of the Fool's journey, and it's kind of like the Fool has got to this point. The Fool starts out in the tarot not really knowing anything. It's just this consciousness of I must step out and do this. It's starting. But by the time you get to this Hanged Man energy, it's a sense that you've got a whole heap of knowledge and experience. So next time you are pausing, and the Hanged Man does represent a pause, next time you're pausing to kind of get a perspective of where you're at, you realize that you've got a whole heap of other knowledge and experience that you can apply to the situation. You're not going in naive at this point. So, yeah, I really get this energy of the pause that's coming in with this Hanged Man energy. So, yeah, interesting. Let's see what else is coming through for the weekend. And I feel like because we're going so slow and we're in this reading, it may have a sense to not rush into things. Contemplate, take things slowly. So anyway, that's the initial message. We'll see what else is coming through because that may be the calm before the storm. We'll see. The Lovers, there is a big choice here. So absolutely, I think you're pausing, contemplating, evaluating where you're at, what's actually, I do see this as a bigger picture kind of energy. You know, you're looking at a bigger evaluation of where you're at here and really just thinking, okay, what's resonating for me at this moment? What is authentic to me? That's another energy that comes through with the Hanged Man. And so I think everything's revolving around this. Some choices that are happening in your life with the Sun card represents breakthroughs, with this sense of sitting with something that it doesn't feel like an imminent choice, like a big, I must make this choice quickly. It feels like a kind of a bigger life choice, like we said. So it might just be about the general direction that you're going in. I was thinking this Knight of Swords was going to come out. I'm like, we can't be slow for too long. Then things speed up, okay? Once you get some clarity around this with the Sun card, because we can see the Sun with the Hanged Man, there's answers coming. The Sun is here in the Lovers card, and out comes the Sun. So once, I think there's this process of sitting with something, and once kind of that answer comes in, you can move forward very quickly with this Knight of Swords and move into something. Think about stepping into something with this Page of Wands. And you could be getting a little bit excited, getting motivated. It may be just kind of looking at something at the moment. It may be those initial first steps, but we've got the Judgment energy, which would suggest that there's something calling you at this moment in time. And this is part of what I get with this Lovers energy, is the Judgment energy for me is always, it's kind of like, imagine you have died, and I don't want to kind of mean this literally, but it's quite literally the energy of you've lived a certain part of your life up until this point. There's a transition period coming up where it's a sense of evaluation. You find yourself here. So just say you're in the transition period, you've died, you're evaluating, looking at your life and going, okay, how did I do? How do I think everything went? And then you are ready to move in. So you're kind of in this transition phase at this moment, and then you're ready to move into the next phase once you've done that evaluation, which is where that goes. We don't know. Some people may feel like they know that, but it's a sense that it's stepping into an expanded space of unknown, but a higher spiritual energy as well that's coming through with this. It's a rebirth of sorts. So I feel like this energy here is very much a sense that you're in the pause, waiting and listening to those voices of spirit that is coming through here. Because it is a sense that a part of your life, an old version of you, is over now. So when we think about a death, it's kind of like a transition, but the Judgment energy is more of part of that is you need to clear out some of that, the energy from the old, process it, let it go, however that presents in your life. And then you can step clearly into the new. And that's what I feel like this is coming in here with this. And so this Page of Wands feels like something, it is very new. The Pages is something that you're stepping out into, that you feel like you've got this lifetime of experience and knowledge, but the situation you find yourself in is very new for you. So you're applying knowledge and experience to a situation that you may not necessarily have specific experience with this new space you find yourself in. Once you get over to the other side and you're opening up to this new. And so that's why the Judgment card feels like it's got a rebirth energy. It can feel like a second chance. It's a second chance at doing something differently because you've been through that big evaluation. So, and that's why it can feel like a calling. It can feel like something's calling you into a newer, different space. And we're seeing this with this Page of Wands. So it's a very lovely, gentle energy. It's connected to this very high mystical energy, but it feels very soft and slow and gentle. You can't rush this. Just let it play out. Let it sit with it. And and this is something that's not necessarily, this is a big thing, a big life kind of picture. You can't, this might just be you getting some information around this, about the direction and the evaluation. And this is something that will still unfold. So I don't think you're necessarily getting the bigger picture here, but it definitely that sense that George was saying at the beginning, stop for a moment and just listen and see what kind of messages are coming through for you. It's going to be unique for all of you. So that is the message for the weekend. It's quite a beautiful message, I would say, profound even for some of you to go through this process. So that's it. Enjoy. There's a lot of calm that comes through with this energy. It's very calm and peaceful. There's peace that comes with this as well, with the judgment energy of actually, the thing with the judgment energy I want to say, and what I've just got, is that the evaluation part of this energy is letting go of judgment, letting go of criticism, letting go of I should have done this differently, or I should have done it better, and accepting that that was your life path, that is what happened. Learn from that experience and move on, and with love and forgiveness for yourself and those around you. So yeah, beautiful energy to come through. So that is the message for the weekend. Really looking forward to seeing what comes in on Monday. Sometimes I have been skipping the Mondays of late only because I like to have the weekends free. I need to block out some time for me so that I know that I've got that time free to not think about anything and to just kind of be in my human life, hang out with my family, spend some time with them, and then I can come back into the work. Otherwise, I kind of find I get a bit burnt out. So if I'm skipping some Mondays, that's quite simply the reason why. So look forward to seeing you next week, and enjoy the weekend.